So now having come into the trimble access, first we need to copy our created code files. So where to do it? So when you open Trimble Business Center, you got this icon files. You just go into the files, then open the system folders, and you copy the code file here. So I already done that. Let's see how we are going to use it in our job. So we're going to create a new job. Go to general survey, job, new job. My job is CODIN codes. I'm going to use my coordinate system, which is already there. Some people like to have easting, northing, or northing, easting. You can change the order of the coordinates by pressing the units, going into the units, and going to the second page. You can change the easting, northing values here. You can change the order here, and you want the station display to be like 1000 or 10 plus 1 or whatever, so you can change those formats here. We can also change the precisions for the area and for the distance display. You can also change the coordinate display distances precisions here, and just say accept. Then I go into feature library, and this is my code which I have created. I just click on this, my code is created, and I say accept. It's done. So now I'm going to start measuring in an RTK mode. So go to measure RTK and just say measure points. Okay, now just accept it. Okay, I don't want my e bubble. I just close it. I give a point name 100, then I go here, create my first code. My first code is like just a lamppost, which I'm going to enter here. Just say lamppost, enter, give the antenna height of your rover, and say measure.
Observation stored.
You can just zoom to the area you are measuring. Just zoom in here, so you just get to the center. The cursor is at the center of the point. Then I go to the next point. Again, I create a lamppost. Just say measure.
Observation stored.
Okay, so next I'm going to measure to the right. Are going to start a line, so I just come to the right. I'm going to start a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a line here. So I'm going to use a new feature called CP, and I'm going to say like choose start line. So SL is start line here. So I'm going to, for the first point, I'm going to give start line and say measure.
Observation stored.
So I'm going to go to the next line, next point. Okay, now I'm going to this, for the second point I don't need to give the control codes. I just delete the control code, just give the point name, the feature code name, and say measure. So it forms a line here. So I'm going to the next point again, say go next point, just click measure, it forms the line. Go to the next point and say measure, it forms the line.
Observation stored.
Now I want to end this line. Now I just want to end this line. So I'm going to the next point here. I'm going to say after CP going to give my end line control code, so which I've created already. Enter, measure, it ends here.
Observation stored.
So when you go to the next point, okay, now I create a new code and say SL, enter.
Observation stored.
Now again, just close this. Don't give this control code for the second point. Enter. It forms a new line.
Observation stored.
And don't forget to enter the line's end code. So now I'm going to give the end code EL end line, enter, then it ends the line here. It's very important to give the line codes with enter. Okay, now I'm going to start a new line feature with left and right offsets. So first I'm going to give my right line code, that is RC, then start line, the control code, then horizontal offset, space 3 meters, then vertical offset, space 0.5. This is the right offset. Similarly to the left offset, horizontal -3, vertical offset -0.5. Okay, say enter and I say measure. It measures the first point. Then I go to the second point. I just take out the line start line control code and keep my horizontal and vertical offset codes. Just say measure. It measures the next point and also gives you both the line offsets here. And you just go to the next point, to the next point again. So just say measure. It forms your right and left offsets. So when you want to end the line, go to the next point and just say enter the end line code, enter and measure. It just ends the line. Okay, now we can see it in the 3D view. Maybe like don't have it here. We can see these two lines just going down. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new code just by having rectangles. I'm just going to create a rectangle now. Okay, so just go to the point where you want to create a rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to use a new code that is maybe like a CP or a building. Okay, so building which is in rectangular in shape. So and I'm going to give my control code start rectangle. When you create a rectangle, you need to have a start point and an end point of a side, and then the third point on the other side, anywhere on the other side. It automatically forms a rectangle. Let me show you how to do it. So I'm going to enter this and say measure. It measures the rectangle now first point of the rectangle. I'm going to the second point of the rectangle, which I have to take out the control codes, enter, and then I'm just going to go to the second point. Okay, so now I'm going to say measure, takes
Observation
out the
tool.
second point, and then I just go like this to the center of the other side of the rectangle. Now I say measure. There you
Observation
go.
tool.
This is one side we have measured and have given the width of the rectangle, then it forms. Now the rectangle is formed. That's how easy it is. Okay, so similarly I'm going to form a circle. So circle is very difficult. Let me see how we can do it. So I'm going to go to the point, jump somewhere down there. Okay, where we can do a circle, right? So I'm going to create a circle which is again a building. I'm going to say start circle. Okay, this is my start circle code, and I'm going to give just the radius of the circle, say like 3 meters. Enter and say measure. It forms a circle.
Observation stored.
Fine.